Okay, so let's get this Param's party started. Welcome everyone. It's really nice to see so many people here. I'll just give you a quick introduction to the Token Engineering Commons and what do we do. Token Engineering Commons it's a commons built around token engineering in order to fund proposals that advance this emerging discipline. Putting it in a simple way, let's say that now that we are living an era in which any community can get together and build a microeconomy around their community, there's not really like any let's say like good practices like developed into this because it's so new. So token engineering wants to provide like more research and development around these tools, and the way we do it, and that we are very proud of in the TEC, is with the help of our cultural build. So we've been this project, the TEC has been around for a little bit more than a year, and the cultural integration of this community has been one of the most let's say one of the biggest priorities, because this is like the most important part, right? So one of the things that we started doing differently is that we collectively iterated our mission, vision, and values. So the community got together and made some proposals around this, and there was some discussion, and in the end this was also like collectively designed with the help of our cultural build. So doing a general overview of the Token Engineering Commons, we are divided into these two phases. If you've heard about the Token Engineering Commons, you've probably heard about the Hatch, which is an event that we had some months ago, in which we raised a total amount of 1.5 million DAI, or RapTech DAI. So in a similar way, then we decided collectively around our mission, vision, and values. We want also to collectively design our economy. So the tool we are using for this is the Commons configuration dashboard. The Commons configuration dashboard looks something like this, and it's the tool that we're going to be using for building, for submitting proposals that are also going to be debated and discussed, and eventually we will collectively design the TEC economy. So right now we're in the middle of phase 2, which is previous to the Commons upgrade, and so in these Param parties, what we do is we get together with communities, and we teach them how to use the Commons configuration dashboard. And yeah, I mean, who knows, maybe the proposal for the economic design that we'll end up using is here, like in the ShapeShift community, right? But the goal of this is to enable communities to also be able to use these token engineering tools. So after the commons upgrade, once we pick our economic design, we're going to be using an augmented bonding curve to uh, uh, fund our common pool, which is the one that we're going to use for funding proposals that advance token engineering. So before I get into the commons configuration dashboard, I just wanted to give you some background on some of the stuff that we've been doing in communications. So right before we had the dashboard ready, we ran this campaign in the month of September where we posted one parameter that was going to be used in the dashboard daily. And these tweets had links to our forum, which make deeper dives into each of the parameters. So if you wanna like catch up with this, I'm gonna post the link to the dashboard in the general channel. Oh, I see. Bubble Coffee. Great question. What is param? It's a abbreviation for parameters. These parameters are the let's say the metrics that we are going to be using for designing our economy and the token engineering commons. So yeah, we're going to be learning a lot about parameters in this body. So let me post a link really quick, and everything that I'm telling you about each parameter and how the dashboard works and all of this, it's already built into the interface. So if you go inside the commons configuration dashboard, you're gonna have like an initial tour, which is gonna summarize most of this stuff that I'm telling you about. So once again, the purpose of the dashboard is to enable our community to collaboratively design our economic model. And it is divided in four different modules used to control different stuff. So putting you a little bit in context, the first module is going to be the token freeze and token thaw. So as I said, we had a oh, site can't be reached. Oh, let me.
I found it. Chewy was just missing the ONS. It was tech comms instead of tech commons. Yeah, this latest link should work.
Oh, damn it. sorry for the mix-up. Okay, so the first module is token freeze and token thaw, right? So as I mentioned earlier, we went through a hatch stage in which we raised 1.5 million DAI. So there are already 2 million minted TEC tokens, which are the ones that we use internally for the hatchers to vote on these proposals. So what's going to happen with these 2 million tokens, right? So in other words, that our token freeze and token thaw periods are vesting periods. So token freeze is a duration from the initialization of the commons, which tokens remain fully locked. So for the first year in this, like picking 52 in this parameter, what this is saying is that for the first year, those of us who participated in the hatch aren't going to be able to move these tokens, right? And the token thaw is the token thaw is the duration in which gradually we're going to be able to move that part of the supply. Opening price is the price that we're gonna launch with, and I'm gonna talk more about the opening price in the second module, which is the augmented bonding curve. The augmented bonding curve is our economic engine. So it's a token price like mechanism, and this is where TEC tokens are going to be minted. So the opening price is 1.7, and what we do with once we pick the tributes is we simulate different steps. So we can use the simulator to see like different reactions to different interactions with the bonding curve. So let's say that we move the 45% of our, or let's say 40% of the total amount that we raise during the hatch is going to go to the funding pool. The rest of it is going to go to the reserve balance in the bonding curve. So once we pick these parameters, we are able to add different steps to see how this is going to behave. So let's say that we add a buy of I don't know, someone puts in 45,000 XDAI. So we can actually see adding this step how this behavior would affect the bonding curve at this stage. So with the price of 225, we are going to be putting in 45,000 DAI. The tribute that is going to go to the funding pool is going to be of 2,250, and the amount of TEC tokens that is going to be minted by the curve is 18,725. So you can add different steps here and see how the curve would react. Like let's say that someone sells 12,000 TEC tokens after this last step. So you can actually see how this would affect the price, what the slippage would be in the new price. So yeah, you can use this simulator to help you try out the augmented bonding curve parameters. We're going to go to module number 3, which is DAO voting. This is basically the voting parameters that we are going to be using if we want to modify these parameters later. Like, let's say that after 2 or 3 months, maybe we think that it would be convenient to offer a lower entry tribute. So how do we change these parameters after the commons upgrade? We use DAO voting, which is going to help us modify these parameters. So let's say that support required is 88%. It is like a relative percentage of yes votes over to like no votes. So 88% as support required and 8% as minimum quorum are the parameters that we are currently using for the hatch. So those have worked pretty good, and I personally think that it would be a good idea to start with this. And the minimum quorum is the percentage of all of the tokens that must vote yes in order to make this modification valid. So our vote duration would be of 6 days. There's an execution delay of 2 days, and there are different periods in case people change their minds. So what happens if in the outcome of the vote, because of someone pointed out something valid during a debate? So what happens if people change their minds? We're going to have extensions of time added to this vote so that people can have further discussion on these modifications before applying them. And the last module, number 4, is conviction voting. So conviction voting is what we're going to be using for funding our proposals. The spending limit is the amount of the funding pool that we're going to be able to allocate per proposal. And minimum conviction and conviction growth are the periods in which, depending on how many TEC tokens are backing the proposal, what's the amount of time that it would take these proposals to pass. So there is this tool for this simulator that works in a similar way to the one in the augmented bonding curve. So let's say that we make a proposal that is requesting 35,000 DAI, and there is 1 million wrapped text DAI in the common pool. What's the effective supply of there's actually a mistake here. I'm sorry, this is supposed to be TEC, not wrapped text DAI, but we already submitted a pull request this morning, so it should be fixed pretty soon. Sorry for the mix-up. But let's say that there's an effective supply of 2 million TEC tokens. So if we add a proposal like this, we can see the minimum amount of tokens that are needed to back this proposal for it to pass in this period of 2 weeks. But let's say that in a period of 3 months, we would need fewer TEC tokens, right? So eventually, like even in 6 months, a proposal like this would need to be backed by this amount of TEC tokens. So yeah, as you can see in this like general overview, it's an amazing tool that can help our communities really get a better idea of the decisions that are made behind their economic design. So before I keep going on, and before eventually, and hopefully everyone here can get to try to make a proposal, I want to give the stage to any questions that there might be in the audience. So yeah, feel free to open your mic and make any questions that you have. Yeah, let's take some minutes for answering some questions.
So Chewy, we're about to go in and like, is everyone going to be playing around with these parameters individually? Or are we going to be doing it as teams?
Yes, it works individually. We actually take like attendance to these Params parties. So we're going to be giving out POAPs to everyone that participated in these designs. But the requirement is to show up to 3 parameter parties and to at some point make at least 1 proposal and be able to present it to the rest of the Param party. So if everyone here wants to, like, for now, just play around with it a little bit to get a better sense, that's great. And if eventually you are interested in keep participating in Param parties and you want to make a proposal and present it to the community for some feedback, you're always welcome to. Or if also you want to just like play around with it and observe, that's also fine. But yeah, the idea is to start playing with it. But yeah, I just wanted to check if there are any questions so far about this parameter overview.
I'd say what KPI are we trying to optimize for as we tweak all these different parameters?
I'm sorry. What was that, Willie?
What are we trying to optimize for as we play around with all these different parameters and see the simulation? What would you say should be the goal of anyone who's playing around with these?
Okay. So the idea behind like token engineering as a discipline itself is to, in a similar way than bridges that are going to be built. Its designs are tested for resilience, right? So in a general way, the purpose of token engineering as a discipline is to build more resilient economies. So the idea of this commons configuration dashboard is for the community to that especially the people that have been building this project to have different tools and say, okay, so this is what I think is the best for us. Like I think that this is going to bring more value to the token engineering commons, and the ultimate goal is to like make it attractive for people to participate, because every interaction with the augmented bonding curve is gonna generate an income for our funding pool. So so in a way, let's say that one of the goals is for making it attractive for other people to participate in the augmented bonding curve, and eventually get involved with also with our governance, and be able to fund token engineering advancement as a public good. Are there any more questions?
If we have any questions about a specific parameter as we're going through this, what's the best way to ask for help?
Oh yeah, I'll be right here. So if okay, let's just go to the next step. Let's start playing around with it. Here's a tip. I'm gonna be dropping this link in the general channel as well. The easiest way to start is to fork someone else's proposal. So if you see, like there are many proposals here. So let's say that, okay, TEC Casino has been one of the most popular ones. So if you go inside the issue and you click fork this proposal, you're gonna get those parameters like preloaded in the dashboard. So it's always easier to start with something and start playing around with it a little bit before you actually can start one from scratch. So go ahead if you want to play with it. I just dropped a link in the general channel, and yeah, let's try it out. I'm gonna start counting like 15 minutes, and maybe we can bring Lo-Fi Girl back. And if there are any questions, I'll be right here to answer them if they are about any specific parameter, or just like yeah, just any questions that there might be. I'll be right here, and yeah, go ahead and have fun. I'll be checking in like 10 to 15 minutes to see how everyone is doing. And yeah, maybe I could present the proposal, or okay, let's see who's okay. Nate is here. Maybe Nate can share a proposal of his in a little while, so that everyone gets also a better idea of it. So yeah, go ahead and play with it, and I'll check in back in like 10 to 15 minutes. Also, if there are any questions, go ahead and open your mics. Be right here. how is everyone doing so far? I'll take that as we're having a lot of fun. Okay, everyone. Just to put you in a little bit of context, like what's going to happen with these proposals, right? The decision-making process is in this great forum post that Livy made. And so right now we are doing Param's parties and promoting these as educational events so that people can make these proposals. However, we're going to start with debates actually next week. So if you like to get political about it, you'll have a lot of fun. And yeah, it's pretty much just discussing which proposals the community find convenient and why. And so there's going to be a vote after these debates. This vote is going to take place in TokenLog. TokenLog is a tool that allows us to have also like quadratic voting. And this is how we signal which proposals are the most popular and accepted among the hatchers. So eventually these like the 3 or 4 between 3 and 5 actually proposals are gonna make it to the runoff vote. And yeah, after that, we should have a final design for the Token Engineering Commons economy. So this is giving you some context of what's going to be the rest of the process. And yeah, coming back to everyone trying the dashboard, would anyone like to make some comments or just share some of the thoughts or any feedback that you have about this? And also, well, there's also like bonus points if if someone presents a proposal. So yeah, this so I'll call Nate to have him present one of the proposals. And yeah, if anybody has like any questions or feedback before we go into that, yeah, go ahead. Okay, so I'll give the stage to Nate, and he's gonna start sharing his screen. And
yeah, thank you, Chewy.
Yeah, take it away, Nate.
Yeah, so I know Willie asked before, what do you optimize for? And there's a lot of different things you can optimize for within this this configuration dashboard. And so just to take it step by step, we have the token freeze and token thaw module that Chewy explained before, where you can set your opening price and how long this kind of vesting mechanism works for. And so I used a token freeze. I set the opening price at $1.25. The token freeze is for a short period of time, and then the token thaw is for a much longer period of time. And so this is the idea. This is that the builders of this economy will have their tokens slowly released over time and not put too much sell pressure all at once or in a short amount of time, crashing the price or any of that. So there's kind of this kind of stable release of tokens where if people who contributed early on want to get out, they can and do so, but not all at once. And so that's kind of what this vesting module does for us right now. So the token thaw is really long time, token freeze a little bit shorter. So have quicker access, but longer term to get the full unlock. Move to the augmented bonding curve. The ABC is really interesting because what I like to optimize for within this is this common pool at launch. So we have the common pool versus the reserve. So our money is split between these two pools. The common pool is where we're going to be using the funds to fund token engineering public initiatives, as well as help funding our working groups, operations budget, and so on. And so the amount of money in our common pool is very, very important and something that we've been debating recently. So our opening price is at $1.25. Our commons tribute's at 45%. If I want to increase that, I can, and it'll increase the amount of money in the common pool. But I like the 45 percentage. And so this is an extreme take. This proposal is called Enjoy Your Stay because there's an entry tribute, basically a tax of 1% that goes to the common pool for every buy event and an exit tribute of 40%. So it's saying, hey, you have to stay here. And if you want to leave the economy, it's going to cost you 40%. So this is a very, very extreme version, but we like to do the extremes in some of our proposals just to have debate topics around. And so I do think this is a really good one for that purpose. The reserve ratio is an interesting element within the augmented bonding curve because the lower it is, the more volatility the price will have between purchases and sell events on the curve. So if you have a really low reserve ratio at below 10-15%, you're going to have high variable movement on this the price after each purchase and sell. So I like to keep that pretty high just because it offers stability. And then we go to the Tau. I think most people in the TEC are very big proponents of high support required, low minimum quorum. Vote duration, I like 10 days. Some people like it shorter. Delegated voting period is just the amount of time delegates have to submit their votes, and then a quiet ending period of 3 days, which means at any point, within 3 days, that that vote can switch, and delegated voting is locked. And so if the price does switch, or the outcome of the vote does change, we give it another 2 days extension for people to really get involved. And then, of course, the execution delay of 3 days. So that allows enough time to make sure that the implementation of any type of proposal is accurate and will be executed properly. Then conviction voting, spending limits how much you can spend. I always keep that at really low. I want to optimize for a lot of different small proposals rather than overextending ourselves and spending a ton of money on a single proposal. So we can increment those proposals out if possible. The minimum conviction, I like it to be really low and a long conviction growth. I like to think of conviction growth as like heat capacity for any type of object. So it takes a long time for your conviction to reach its full potential. But if you were to move your tokens from one proposal to another proposal, it also takes a long time for that conviction to go away. So it kind of gives this flexibility for people who are voting on these proposals to actually move their tokens around a lot and maintain their conviction on several different proposals. So it matches this kind of spending limit idea of like, let's not have one big proposal, but a ton of different little proposals. And so, yeah, and that's basically it. And so at the end, I have my justifications on the right-hand side for my strategy for each and why it's there. And so, yeah, I'll pass it back to you two.
Thank you, Nate. Yeah, that was a great job. Thank you for sharing. Just in case, so that everyone here has enough information, I'm going to be sharing a link to deeper dive into each parameter. And this is a link to the TEC forum. So if you go in here, you can not only do a deeper dive into what each of these do, but also engage in discussion around this parameter. So yeah, do we have any questions so far?
I really liked Nate's walkthrough. That really helped see kind of how you're thinking about each of these parameters. I'm curious, was there one screen there, or was it every screen basically that people who are trying to judge whether this is a better proposal than another proposal can look at and say, oh, the common pool at launch, it's higher in this proposal than this other proposal, so I prefer this proposal, for example. I'm just curious, like what's the best way for someone who is going to be like voting on different proposals to make an educated decision?
I think that's a great question. I think a lot of it has to do with the actual cultural build of what we've been trying to do and having a setup for collaborative economics to occur. And that's why we have these param parties and why we have the debates around the parameters, is that we start to notice that the community kind of leans towards preferencing certain parameters or certain relationships between these parameters to others, because they have different social implications, not only from a technical, like augmented bonding curve, how sustainable it is, but like what does it encourage people to do socially? And so when those things are kind of emergent, like it's hard to say what is going to be prioritized by our community until we start having these debates and having these param parties and seeing what people actually care about. So that's how I'd answer that question. But
I love that answer. Yeah, and so this is for the TEC, the Token Engineering Commons actual funding pool. But then potentially, if another community wants to do their own commons and they have different cultural preferences, then they can basically have these discussions and figure out, get the community aligned on what they think is the best quorum, for instance, and the best minimum spend and everything like that.
Yeah, and that's what TokenLog is great with, because it's like it's a great tool to like crowdsource proposals. So you can just say, oh, okay, I have my proposal, but if you like one part of my proposal, Chewy can go and say, I'm going to fork that proposal and change one aspect of it and then present it to the community. And so you start to see these like kind of iteration on iteration on iteration. And then all of a sudden we have these kind of a small group of proposals at the end where everybody's like, this is exactly the ballpark we want to be in.
Awesome.
Yeah, so thanks everyone for being here. There are 10 minutes left until the top of the hour, so we'll just we're gonna stay and hang out. And if everyone is playing around with the dashboard and has some questions, we will be here. Also, if you want to follow everything that is going on in the Token Engineering Commons, you're always welcome to join our Discord, our forum, and follow us on Twitter. I'm going to post an invite link to our Discord server in the general channel. And yeah, thanks everybody for being here today. This is the biggest Param party ever so far, I think. So we're really thankful to the ShapeShift community for their support, especially Crusher and Willie Fox. You guys are awesome. Thank you for making this possible.
Thank you, Chewy. This is awesome, and thank you, Nate. I really appreciate you walking us through your proposal. This is super fun. Learned a lot.
Thanks. Oh, and also before I forget, everyone that came today gets some praise. So make sure you join our Discord server so that we can tag you there, and yeah, you'll participate in our reward system.